Okay, so we're going to do the bridge installation. So what we're going to do is measure right from the edge of the nut that's facing the guitar. So like that, right? So we're measuring from there to the 12th fret. And what we get is roughly 43 centimeters. So it doesn't really matter exactly what we have, but it's around 43. So double 43 is 86. So you put a little mark with a pencil where 86 is, roughly, right? I'm going to take this tape, move it out of the way, because that's the bridge wire. And then what you do is you take rulers and you put them along the sides of the fretboard, and they cascade over the body. But I don't have rulers. So what I'm going to do is very unprofessionally use just this tape measure to get a rough idea of the where the sides meet, or are, where they live, right? And it's kind of good. And then what I'll do is I'll check it with my eyeballs along the line by staring down it like this. Then I can sort of see that I kind of did a pretty good job. And that'll be fine. And you know what? These pickups aren't lined up either. They didn't line up the guitar pickups very well, the cavities for the guitar pickups. And because, well, it could have been my fault, right? But I'm not going to really care for now, because they're whatever, right? It's fine. It's mostly their fault. I don't think I could have fixed it. If they had done it better, I wouldn't have run into the trouble, right? But there's these coverings that make it so I can't really see their route job right now. But I can see the route job with these because there's no cover around the sides. They just sit right in the hole and screw right in, and I can see already that they don't line up. The line here and here doesn't really line up. So that's one thing. So nothing's really going to line up too nicely. But now that I have those lines that I think are very, very, very nice, I'm going to put my bridge and sort of center it, kind of, right? And another thing I'm going to do is just roughly eyeball. You should really not roughly eyeball this kind of stuff, but whatever. We have this bridge wire. I think it's going to be right on the line of where the screws are, which I don't like, but I do. I'm going to try and make it not have to do that. So I'll offset it slightly, and the line of intonation will accommodate that. If I move it too far forward, then I'm going to have all all the saddles are going to be sprung like way the hell up there, and it's not going to be too nice. So what you want to do is where you marked that 86 centimeters, these things are, well, I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do right now is quickly screw in the saddles so that they're all in the same line, because that'll be the amount of play that I'll need. Maybe just a little bit of screw nub will be hanging outside of the saddles. I hope you understand my absurd terms. So that's what we're doing. So right where all the saddles are, these guys, that's where your 86 centimeter line should be, roughly. Right? It's all adjustable, so it doesn't matter that much. And so when I look, see, now that is top Luthiery on their part. I'm going to put it just a little bit above, but that's pretty good. So just holding that where it is, you want to just look down the line and see, like, aim the groove in the saddle with the groove in the nut on the E and G, and slightly adjust it again, and just make sure that you're not completely off the edge. So if anything, it should move over just a little bit like that. That one's good. And that one's good. So I have it very, very nicely where I want it to be. I'm just going to trace around without moving it. Oh, I moved it slightly. It's all good though. Okay, so we're good. So that's where it is. So now I have all that. Just, you don't need to erase it right now, but I have the markers, so don't erase your markers, but you can go ahead and erase all your other pencil lines. And then line it back up. Line it back up right like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Line it all back up, and then mark through the screw holes with your pencil. With your pencil. At where they go, and then double check to make sure that you kind of did it pretty good. Oh, I kind of messed it up a little bit. So just go out all different angles. You know what I mean? So that little bit of parallax error doesn't screw your day up. So we have penciled our pencils. Now we can, like, I'm happy with it. So now we can erase everything except for our pencil markings. And I'm not in the line of fire. I'm a little bit close, but I don't think I'm in the line of fire of the bridge grounding wire. But I'm right beside it, which is top Lu3 best news 2018. So then what you got to do is what we did before, which is match up the shaft of your screw with the size of drill bit you need. In my case, I bet it's 3.5 again. So let's take our 3.5. Ah, see, I was incorrect. So you always got to make sure about that, because that was too big and that would have been not a very nice bridge. So that is perfect size. It might be a little bit too big still, so let's try the next size down, and I think that is going to be better. Yeah, that's going to be better. So what we have is 3 milliliter. I believe it's milliliter. And then we need to mark it. I don't have any tape stuck around anywhere. So what I'm going to do is peel a label off of, this is the professional way of doing it. Peel yourself a label off of a box that you got your thing shipped to, and then mark it at that. But I could have eyeballed it because this is like into deep wood, but just to be safe, you know, like we don't want to overshoot anything. And you could do little pilot holes so that your drill doesn't veer right the fuck off, but yeah. It'll be fine. Can't believe this is almost being completed. If I run into the grounding wire, I'm gonna be sad. Let's just hope I don't. Didn't veer. You know what? I saw the grounding wire move when that happened. And it's fine. It must be right beside it. It must be right damn beside it. Like, I saw it move, but I pulled it out and it's like not touched. So that is luck. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay, come on, man. Also, this silly bit is a little bit bent too. But what can you do, you know? This one's not as scary, so I don't really mind. See that? Now that one veered a bit. So I'll put that screw in last. How about that? That one's good. Now what I'm going to do with this sawdust is that one veered a lot. Oh well. It'll be fine. It will be fine. You just don't put the weird ones in first. Then they conform when you put on screws later. So what I'm going to do with this sawdust is just take this guitar outside, blow it out outside, because that's a lot of sawdust. So, be right back. Did you have a nice break? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is shove the bridge ground wire in. Pretty good. Now take it back out. And then strip off roughly the amount of, like, the length of the screw that goes in there. And that's how you ground your bridge. I shouldn't have just chucked that over there. Oh well, I'll clean it up later. And you take the end of the wire and shove it down in that hole. So that when you screw in the bridge, the screw makes contact with that and everything will be very nice. See, now I did pretty damn good. I think I did pretty damn awesome. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and proceed to shove this right down in there. I will say that they did use a pretty damn good bridge. It's like the basic, it's basic shit, but it's very heavy duty. Like, it's not as heavy duty as they're called badass bridges. It's not as heavy duty, nowhere near, but it's very, very heavy duty for just a simple, like, sheet metal bent with some screws in it style bridge. And that's all you need. You know, that's all I need. One garbage thing is they didn't put, it doesn't have little channels for the saddle set screws to sit in, so that's not very good, but oh well. You can always upgrade. So I didn't do the holes that veered first, and the battery's running low, so we'll see when this cuts off. Maybe it'll cut off at a comical time for it to cut off. I mean, the battery's running low on the camera, right? Maybe it'll cut off at a comical time for it to cut off, and we'll see what happens. But all that's left really is for me to string it up and give it a test run. And I'll just make sure that I got everything in line correctly, and if I completely fucked up, I don't know what I did wrong. But yeah, it should be nice. Last screw going in. Will the camera make it? Who knows? So that shouldn't have ruined the bridge grounding screw. I don't have a voltmeter or anything like that to test the connections, so it's just going to be string it up, plug it in, see if it works. So let's just check that. That looks good. That looks good. I didn't completely screw it up. One last measurement. We want 86. We are just at 85.5, so that means there's going to be a little bit of adjustment with the screws, but that's perfect because it's only 1/2 centimeter of adjustment, and that means it'll just bounce around like that a little bit. So yeah, that's it. Boom. In. Almost done. Very nice. I will string it up. I'm not going to film that because everyone knows how to string things. Well, most people do. If you play the guitars. Okay, cool.